thing I love about Sydney and Hobart is just the whole aura of the race. The lead up to the race, the competitors, you've got some of the most iconic, ocean racing sailors in the world competing in this race.
As a kid, I used to watch the start every year, the boats, the cameras, the helicopters, the sheer festival of it all and the sheer exhilaration behind it.
It is one of the most sought after ocean racing trophies in the world, and to be part of that is a real privilege. It's an amazing event and it gets better every year.
A 628-mile rite of passage for generations of sailors. From Sydney's spectacular start to Hobart's welcoming finish. South, along one of the sport's most iconic and challenging racetracks. Where boat and crew are tested time and time again. And rivals meet to try to etch their names into history. The Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race. A true ocean classic.
Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. After day one of racing, we're still in the lead of this thing, but we're barely in the lead. Like Red Bull number 20 today. Yeah, really tight racing at the front. But we're down in 18 knots of breeze now, so actually everything feels really good. But we've made the turn to the southwest to come around the bottom of Australia here. Melbourne's over here. But we got offshore quite a ways up under the breeze. And you see we're leading the pack, but only by a mile over second place. So one mistake and I've extended the lead by a little bit in the last hour, but it's still just over a mile. There's not much in it between the top 4 guys, and then after that it kind of drops off. But if I show you on a tracker, we're right here. If I zoom in, we got the blue tracking line here. What's that do? Oh, I don't know. L'Enfant Sauvage. And then, so these guys all went. They jibed over a lot earlier than I did, but they also went out farther than I did, as you can see by our tracks here. You see this purple line, how far he went out. Well, I guess he's the only one that went out that far, because I was right next to him. But they all jibed before I did, and I kind of had this big long curve, and they just went right over. So I'm not sure if that was a mistake. I was sleeping at that time, so right, in this period of time right here, and then I woke up and I kind of changed course a little bit to give it a little bit more of a harsh angle to kind of catch them back up. So I didn't want to let them get away. You don't want to let anyone get away in this race. I feel like you get too far away from them and that's when they're going to find the better air or something. So what we're trying to do, actually I can bring this back, 118 nautical miles, that's about as accurate as I can get it. I'm looking at a 12-hour window between points 2 and 1. So if I hold this course, 12 hours from now I should be at point 1. And you can see what we're scared of here is this high pressure system with very little wind whatsoever. But that's supposed to fill in if we kind of gradually move the time forward. It's not great. I mean, I'd rather have this up here. But it does fill in enough for us to try and punch through this thing. and like right here. So I mean that's not even 12 hours from now, it's 4 hours. So if we go 12 hours from now, that looks kind of promising, you know. I'm hoping this holds up right here. We're gonna try and dive in there and just punch through this high pressure system before it gets too bad. But actually from the 12 hours out and onward, it gets bad like here. But then it's kind of on and off. It doesn't last very long. You know, it fills in again, and then you got this ugly thing. But we're hoping to punch through it. We don't want to go over here, even though there's good wind. That's too far away, and there's also you're against the currents over there, which I can change. I can kind of show you that if I bring up currents. See, we're trying to stay with the down currents, which excuse me.
Excuse me, there is a message for you.
So if you head over this way, you'd end up kind of beating against it, which is not good. It's too far away anyway. I mean, historically, the Sydney the Hobart race has always kind of hugged the coastline all the way down, or headed at least, you know, drop down due south. So I don't think I want to head over that far. But yeah, it is kind of scary about the high pressure is kind of showing its ugly face now and then. Where the hell is the adjustment thing? Oh. So tomorrow, I mean, we should be arriving late tomorrow night, very late tomorrow night, depending on how this unfolds. But once we're through, it looks pretty good. You know, if we carry our way down the coast of Tasmania, you know, if we get through it, there's enough wind in certain spots. You know, this doesn't last too long, this high pressure. And then if we can get down in here by this time, there's really good wind to kind of shoot us into. And this holds up for a long time, so that's pretty good. But we get closer into Friday and it gets really ugly. Like, there's not a lot of wind on Friday. So we'll see when we finish this thing. I think it's going to be late Thursday into Friday morning, but we'll have to see. You know, 12 hours, 24. It depends what kind of pace we have. I mean, this is some of the lighter winds we've had in the Sydney the Hobart race in a long time. And it's hard to tell what to do, what's the right thing to do. I'm not letting the rest of the pack get away, you know, because the top 4 guys, like I said, were neck and neck. There's this guy. This guy's only a mile behind me, and then we kind of have the edge on these 2 guys for right now. But oh, that did not go down my throat. I had like an English muffin a minute ago. It's like stuck in my throat. But yeah, we're trying to find the right thing to do, because this is all up in the air down here as far as you know, do you want to go too far east or stay too far west? And it's hard to tell what the right thing to do is here. I mean, we're just going to keep watching the weather updates. But yeah, the best thing we can do right now is just try to punch through it. And that's going to decide this race, I think, is this whole monopoly thing of who makes the right moves in the high pressure. But yeah, we've had good pace all night. It was pitch black. There was no moonlight last night, so we couldn't see shit. Couldn't see anything. But there's nothing in this race. I mean, the top 4 guys are right behind me. A little nerve-wracking trying to hold on to the lead. But yeah, if that if that's 12 hours from now, I mean, Thursday. So, like this right here, how long does that hold up for? Because that's what I want to try. I would try to do... Oops, I went the wrong way. Anyway, I'd try to dive, like, due south, probably. But you can see it doesn't hold up very long. And this is a... quite a bit of sailing. They try and get through that. I mean, let's see, that kind of mileage we're making up. At least 7 hours to get from there. Yeah, that's not good. But if we can get down south quick enough to get into this, that's better. But yeah, none of this holds up for more than a few hours. It's gonna be quite bad. Let's see, go 12 hours would be 9. Try to punch through that would be afternoon. I like how it fills in over here. I mean, if we can get down into that, that'd be good. But worst case scenario, let me add a couple more hours to... Yeah, that is good. But then you got this high pressure system that shows up then. So it's like one after another trying to punch through it. So late tomorrow... You'd want to get into this on the shoreline at least. But then how long does that hold up for? Ugh. So going into early Friday. And this is what we're scared of. We're scared that we're going to be arriving late Friday in this, which is... Get rid of that shit. You know, 4 knots of wind. Even less go down the river. And of course, you know, waking up every few hours to check the tracker and then turn my computer on and make a few adjustments. We did have one retiree. This guy retired back here. Not sure why. He was in it. He was pretty close. Yeah, he dropped out of the race. I think, where is he down here? Must have been this guy. A lot of DNFs. I mean, look at all these DNFs in this race. Kind of disappointing. 7 guys. There's only 7 of us left. Yeah, not much else to say. I mean, it's a close race. We've had the lead of this thing pretty much all the way through, but it's going to be really hard to stay in the lead, I think. You know, one little mistake, and we're just trying to sail the boat the best we can and get to Hobart as quickly as we can. But like I said, once we get down to the Bass Strait, that's when the big lottery shakeup's going to happen with all these high pressure systems. And usually the Bass Strait is known for, you know, really good sailing conditions, big swells and big winds, but not this year. Looks pretty light. And if we go look at the live the tracker of the real race. Of course, these guys are a bit faster than we are, but they're kind of doing the same thing. Wow, they were quick in 2017. This is a boat, like a tracker model from last year, just to show how quick they are. You can kind of see they're slower than they were last year because they were down here already. But we're still, our boats in the game are still back here, so these guys are obviously a lot quicker, but the leaders are having a really good race. Comanche, looks like they have the lead. Blackjack, Infotrack, Wild Oats is over here. But they're kind of doing the same thing that I want to do, which is come this way and then down. You got like Whitehead right here. White Mark, not Whitehead. Kind of come in that way a little bit and head down the shoreline, because I just don't see any reason to head out. Like we were saying, I don't see any reason to come out this way. But we'll see what happens. We had some really big waves last night too. They've kind of died down a little bit, the swells. They're not that big. But it was kind of scary last night. We had like these walls of waves coming at us over the boat, and it was pitch black, so you kind of just see it hit you. Yep, still only a mile lead on the other guys, so we got to watch out for them. So that's about it. I just wanted to do a quick update video for you guys, show you what's going on. For the next 12 hours is just going to be a fight to get down here and get through the high pressure systems, and try to stay in the lead of this thing because it's getting pretty neck and neck at the front. We'll probably do another update video probably tomorrow when we get down here, and then after that we'll do one when a big live stream when we're finishing the race. That'll probably be like an hour long, and then we'll recap the race while we're getting towards the finish line. But nothing much right now going on besides just fighting along, trying to keep the pace up and stay in the lead of this thing. Where are we? Who's this? Someone crossed over. Ooh, he's trying to join in here. Look at this line we got going on. I mean, it's anybody's game. And we're just trying to stay with the breeze and get down here so we can try to hopefully get this offshore breeze to carry us down the coastline. And yeah, hopefully it works out. It's going to be a big shakeup between the top four, though, I think so. It's going to be exciting. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow when we do another update video, and hopefully we're off the coast of White Mark at that time, so we'll see what happens. See you guys then.